Oh, yeah. All righty. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Take a nice deep breath with me. Stretch your arms. Do whatever you got to do this morning. It is 8:30 a.m. here in Eastern Time, and it may be a different time for you. But I'm excited to be here with you and restart these morning coffee with Katie. What's funny is that I don't have coffee right now. I already drank my coffee and I was literally um preparing for this video and I was like, "Shoot, I already drank my coffee." So, if you have coffee or tea or matcha or something else, let me know in the chat if you're watching this. What are you drinking while you are watching this? Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it after. Hey, this is a place where we're just chill. This is a place where we take our time, we take a deep breath, we talk about things that matter, we talk about things that are fun, exciting, important, deep, authentic. And we're talking about it a lot of times through the lens of being a businesswoman, having a business, having a personal brand, but also like life. And for some of you, some of the things that I talk about, like today, having fun, creating results from there, can relate to really anybody. So, yay. And there may be times where I'm talking specifically to my business women, gals who are fired up and want to be fired up about their business and are maybe stuck around feeling uninspired and bored and even potentially boring in your business. There may be times where I'm talking specifically to you. So know that you are always kind of front and center of my mind. There's lots of amazing people in the world that are serving all sorts of different people. And my heart always gravitates towards women in business, high achievers, highly ambitious women who want to create really big impact and freedom in their life and get to do it from a different place, get to do it from a place of fun and joy and play and ease versus making everything hard, making it rigid and like forced. um I know what it's like to be there. I've been there for many years and have gotten in the last couple years to have huge shifts in how I run my business, how I feel about my business, how my business feels about me, because that's the thing. And how I show up in the world. And so always wanting to inspire you as well. This video in particular. Oh, and also if you're like not super into like the long form content, but you're here and you're like, I want to know where to find like shorter content and like you just getting the gold nuggets dropped like instantaneously. Please go visit my Instagram because that's the place where I create all my short content. That's the place where I have like these ahas in the middle of the day and I'm like, this is a reel. And then I go like give you the value that's like the downloads instantaneously. That's the space. My stories, my reels, all those places and spaces. So you can go follow me on Instagram if you want more of the shorter content. And that's in the description down below. So you can go visit there if you're not super into the long form content. This is a place where I am unapologetically spontaneous, like where I'm just like talking with you, like you were in my living room, like you were sitting here with me with your cup of coffee, with your cup of matcha, with your cup of tea, and we're just like chatting about life and what we love and what we're working at and what we're struggling with, what we're excited about. And so these will be however long they are, and they're just a time for you to like spend some time with me and me to spend some time with you. All of that to be said, today we're talking about having fun, creating results. We're gonna start there. We'll probably travel quite a few places, but we'll start there because that's a fun place to start. And that's really where my excitement has been in the last several months. Just getting to see myself like create really cool stuff in my life from this place of fun and play and this like childlike energy that's also super grounded in like, I am here on purpose. Everything in my life is on purpose. There's no mistakes. Everything that's in my space and in my life is on purpose. It's for a reason, even and especially when I'm not sure why. There's so there are so many times that God put something in my life and I'm like, "Oh, why?" Like, "Why did you drop that bomb in my life? What is this about?" And then, a week, a day, an hour, sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years, 5 years later, I'm like, "Oh." now I see that. I get that. That makes a lot more sense. And, it's kind of fun that way. I've learned and am learning and continuing to learn and will always be learning that I get to be in that level of, like, surrender and gratitude that I'm just like, "Okay, all right, this is here," even if I don't understand why it's here, like, and I really wanna be that kind of person, that, like, walks into any room and is just present, is there, is not rushing or forcing or pushing or trying to make something happen, but is just there for life and being present with the people that I love and care about and enjoying all of the different pieces. What's really cool is, like, I feel more relaxed and at peace now in my life than I have been any other year or project or season of my life. And what's so funny is, like, I am partnering with a company that's like it's a big company and it's launching. It's in the midst of launch. It's like a big project. And I'm like in my vibes are in every part of that company. I'm building that. I'm running my own business. I have incredibly amazing clients that I'm like step in step with some of their biggest breakthroughs that are creating like massive momentum in their life and their business through fun and play and embodiment and creating spaciousness. And I'm doing both of those things and I still have a life. Like I still have a luxurious morning routine that grounds me and calms down my nervous system and has me be like joyful and excited to be alive. And I decompress at night. We're going to talk about that actually, because like I've been noticing some things. And I have like, I can decompress at night. I can walk away from my work and I can be like, today was a good day. Like, and I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna like enjoy time with my family. I'm gonna be at dinner. I'm gonna like watch a movie with them, play a game, like drink some tea. I'm gonna, debrief with myself at night before I go to bed. And I'm gonna like really sit in gratitude for my life and what I'm creating. And I'm gonna often share just like my own experiences here. And then whatever comes up for you, because I'm sharing them for the purpose of first and foremost getting to see what I've like getting to like look in the mirror and being like, "Wow. Oh my goodness." And also I want this to be a place that anyone can access that's just like life lessons of a growing young ambitious woman who's getting to learn to create from a different place. That's learning to get to stand for a different kind of energy in my life and is getting to like really truly be creatively lit up and inspired and stop like trying to force and push stuff. And if that resonates for you and you're like, absolutely, I dig that. I love that. I want to be hearing what really lands for you. Not just the lessons you're walking away from. Yes, those, please. But also like, what are your stories? What are the things that resonate for you? Where were the moments in your life where you felt like forced and pushed, like you were trying to control everything and you were like, this is not the vibe I want to be into right now? And you're coming back home to like, okay, like I don't actually need to push anything because the whole premise of needing to force something into your life is basically looking at your life and saying there's something that isn't supposed to be here or there's something that is supposed to be here that isn't here yet. And the opportunity for me often, and maybe this resonates for you too, is like if I'm in question of what is or is not in my life, then I'm in this like resistance and pushback of what already is and like I'm fighting. I'm fighting with it's interesting because there's this part of me that like holds the everything is in my space for a reason. God wouldn't have put it God would not have put it in my life and in my space if I wasn't meant to experience it, move through it, learn a lesson from it, give something to it, to change it, to shift it into a different color, a different shape, a different like spin it around. He wouldn't have put it there if it wasn't there for a reason. So I want to hold that space, right? Like everything is here for a reason. There's so much peace in that, in knowing that everything is here for a reason. But then there's also this other element of me that's like, but if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And like, I gotta push and create and like force and let's go. And so there's a perception around like making stuff happen that I think oftentimes is in contradiction to our desire to live in a life where we know and we can believe that everything is on purpose, that everything has been predestinedly designed and created so that we can experience it, so that we can learn from it, so that we can create wisdom from it, so that we can like be a light in it. Like all of those elements are so a part of the story. So some of these two vibes can sometimes like contradict each other sometimes. And I think that's just because we're human. Like we always want to be like, but I can do this, I can improve myself. And that's been a huge part of my journey, is like letting the walls down of needing to protect myself by proving I'm okay, I'm smart enough, I'm good enough. All of these pieces and elements that were the motivation for a lot of times that I totally created breakdown in my body, created breakdown in my mind and my emotions, because I was trying to make stuff happen from a place of I don't feel good enough. And I'm so obsessed with needing to feel good enough that that's the only thing I can really think of. And now it's more about like, okay, I'm here for a reason. Like I'm here for a reason. So I get to like really own my voice, my gifts, what it is that I'm contributing to the world. Like if I'm in this question of like, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? Then I'm in my own self-obsessed space where I'm not actually contributing and giving what I can give. And what's so beautiful for, especially for those of you women who are business women, who are selling an offer, you have a gift, you have something that you're contributing to the world and you're second guessing yourself a lot. Listen, gals, like real talk here. Like I notice more and more that when I am focused on my clients, the gals that I get to serve every single day, that's when I come into this space of like authority. Oh my goodness. Wow. Like they created this result. I facilitated this experience. Wow. Like I got to hold space for a really big breakthrough and they just created a different result that they would not have created otherwise. Whoa, that's amazing. And then my shares come from that energy versus from like, I need to be something I'm not. I need to give something that's not really like genuine for me to give. Like we can be in this dance of trying to be relevant, trying to be popular, trying to be what everybody wants. And then ultimately, what we're doing is we're just being relevant to everyone else except for the person that's actually going to facilitate the breakthroughs and hold space for the results that your clients are going to create, which, by the way, is you. So we're trying to be relevant to everybody else's life except your own life. And that doesn't work. And that feels icky. And long term, you may get the like praise of, oh, you're awesome. Oh my goodness, I so resonate with what you're saying. But long term, it's not really valuable because it's not you. So I'm learning this lesson a lot. But when it comes to my nights, what I want to circle back to is like, and maybe some of you resonate with this too, and you relate with this, and you're like, ooh, this is like I live here. Like this is definitely where I live. What I want to share is like, there's this place that sometimes we can hang out in, which is especially at night. I notice that I can be in this energy of like, I need to finish what I started. I need to like grind it out. So I notice for myself that actually my morning routine, my morning grounding time is much, much easier to implement and be consistent around than my night routine, because my nights are often like my brain is still running all of the programs of the day. So if you resonate with that, it's something that I'm definitely like working on and synthesizing into something that really works so that I can also be that solution for people who are struggling with decompressing at night, slowing down, being in gratitude, being in this place of appreciation instead of going to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then dragging yourself out of bed in the morning and feeling groggy and unmotivated and bored and boring. So there's all of these like elements that come into cultivating a life of fun and creativity, creating results from that place. And a lot of the ones that I've shared so far are about like slowing down to speed up. Slowing down to speed up. I know this is such a cliche term because We've used it for so long, but there's this place that we live when we slow down to speed up that's grounded, that's clear, that's calm, that's peaceful, where we're making choices from a responsible steward-like place, where we're not coming from our ego, we're not coming from needing to prove ourselves in any way, we're coming from total, complete generosity, focusing out. And that feels so good. And that's where play begins. That's where play begins. Because when you can slow down, like I spend most of my morning slowing down. I know. If you got me at 8:30 a.m. this morning and I didn't have my like slow down practices and my quiet time, like you would get a very different version of me. You'd probably get a version of me that really needed to like fill this live with so much value because no one's going to watch or listen or like get anything from this because it's not good enough. And like, I need to show up in some kind of way. And it's like, girl, I haven't even put my makeup on yet. Like, what are we talking about? And so there's this place of like being able to slow down your nervous system, being able to slow down the noise that's in your head. I'll tell you this morning, it took me a little bit. I journal in the morning, among lots of other things. But one of the things that I love to do in the morning is just journal. And I get all of the icky stuff out first, all of the fears, insecurities, frustrations, the like, oh my goodness, I just don't feel it. I'll get all that stuff out. And oftentimes, as I get that out, there's this different energy that comes that's like excited and passionate. Like, I've cleaned out the clutter to create the space for inspiration. I've cleaned out the clutter to create the space to be grateful, to be in appreciation, to be in anticipation. And that's really fun. But some mornings it doesn't work that simply. Some mornings it's like this morning where I'm just like, I just don't feel it. Like that was this morning. I was like, I just don't feel it. I don't feel lit up quite yet. And I know I will be, but like right now, I just get to be present with some of the thoughts that are coming up for me that aren't necessarily like super, super high vibe, but are truly important right now. So having grace with yourself to slow down to speed up is so important. Some mornings it takes 5 minutes, some mornings it takes an hour and 5 minutes. It just depends. But there's this beautiful place that you can be when you slow down and you calm down your nervous system and you wake up and you do those things for yourself so that when you make decisions in your business, when you make decisions in your life, when you make decisions in your relationships, you're coming from this place of total give. You're coming from this place of, I need nothing, I'm in the service. And what's so beautiful, y'all, is when you come in that space, you get so much back. Like so much back that you didn't actually even need, which makes it even better. Cause then it's like, I want you to think about it like this. Imagine Christmas. You may have had a Christmas like this. Imagine a Christmas where you didn't have that much. You had a very, very tiny, small budget, maybe no budget at all. And you're like in the red places, right? You're like in lack. And then you get these gift cards and automatically your head says, well, this is going to pay for that. And this is going to pay for that. And so suddenly, because I'm in this place of like, I'm in lack, I'm in the red zone, then when I get something and when I'm given something as a gift, I'm already like, well, that'll get me to neutral. That'll get me to like, that'll get me to like the zeros versus when you have no needs and you can just be in this place of, wow, this is like the cherry on top. This is like extra. This is like spending money, you know? like this is fun. And like think about the times in your life where you've been there, where you've been in this place of like, this is just the cherry on top. This is extra. This is so much fun. It's a totally different vibe. So that's really what I've been practicing is like not just logistically being there, but emotionally being there, mentally being there, energetically being there, spiritually being there in that place of like, I need nothing. I'm just in contribution. And so it means that when I'm given to, I'm just so in awe and so grateful and inspired and like in appreciation because it's like, I can do this. This is okay. Like we're okay. It's a beautiful place to be. So that's where we're practicing from. We're slowing down to speed up so that we have the space for inspiration. What I often say is that you can't put creativity, if you want to have more creativity in your life, in your business, in your relationships, if you want to feel more spontaneous and fun and playful, and by the way, all of that comes from your creative energy. When you come from that place, it means that you get to create space for it. So you can't just put imagine that creativity is this guest in your home. And you're like, well, I didn't really spend the time to like create space for you. So I can put you in my basement, like in the corner room over there that's like grimy and old and rusty and spiders all over the place. And creativity is like, yo, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Your neighbor looks pretty loaded. So like maybe I'd get the better deal over there. Yeah, that's like that's my impression of creativity often is like if I'm not creating space for her, I say her because I'm a girl, so there you go. If I'm not creating space for her, then she's not gonna come live with me. So you get to create space for creativity if you want creativity to live with you. This means creating actual space, like getting stuff out of your head, delegating, putting things down on paper so that they're not stored in your head alone, creating that mental space, creating the emotional space by like feeling what you get to feel instead of avoiding or numbing out. It also means like you can tell where your energy is. Like sometimes we can tell only when we're like, I'm just not in the mood. Like, I'm just not. No, we're not here. Like, learning to actually use tools to shift that, to actually shift your energy from something that is like frustrated and like, ugh, to, oh, okay, I'm okay. And I'm actually ready to like upgrade. I'm ready. Let's go, That's when we start cultivating spaces for creativity. And then it's about having fun. It's about letting go of all of the expectations that you're putting on yourself, coming back to the conversation about being relevant. There's so many things that we do in our business to try to be relevant that we don't actually like, we don't get inspiration from. And oftentimes it ends up making us like, we don't want to be on our social media. We don't want to be selling our offers because there's just parts of us that are like so not in on what we're doing. And you got to get rid of those things. Like, so please get rid of those. Please get rid of the things that you're not hyped about in your business, because at the end of the day, if you're not excited about what you're creating, if you're not excited about what you're up to, the impact that you're creating in the world, then you're not going to want to sell it. You're not going to want to promote it. You're not going to want to talk about it. And if you're not going to talk about it, then no one's going to hear it. And no one's going to say, I want that. So these are the lessons that I'm learning. These are the lessons I'm getting to implement and practice and also facilitate for my clients and my girls. And it feels good. And I think that to like land the plane on this live, I think that the reason it feels good to me is because there's a willingness there that wasn't there before. And it's practice. But if you're willing to learn the lessons, if you're willing to actually be honest and look in the mirror, it means that running a business is so much smoother because, hey, your business is a mirror for you. Your business is a mirror for all of your bad habits and all of your passions and all of your desires and all of the things that you are wanting to create and wanting to contribute and wanting to give. But it's a mirror for all of the things, not just some of them. So if there's parts that you're like, ugh, yuck, like be willing to look at them and say, okay, am I being responsible in my business? Am I holding the line of integrity in my business? Am I like inspired and being honest about what I want to say and share? Am I giving all of me or just parts of me that I think are like, okay? Yeah. So be there, like play with actually creating the space for creativity. And as you may or may not know, like that's literally what I do. So if any part of this like really struck for you, definitely reach out to me. Like go to my Instagram and DM me, because we don't get to design alone. I remember one of my friends saying that to me, and she got it from this incredible space where like um where they are designing community. And she said, listen, like we don't design alone, because if we design alone, then all of our blind spots stay intact and we never get the opportunity to genuinely grow. So when you design with people, and that means designing the life that is going to have you show up and be the very best and give the best of you, then you get to be responsible for creating that. And that also might be that also might mean being responsible to get the support that you get to have. And if you feel like, oh, I get to have I get to have a sidekick, like I get to have a girl that's like so just like on my butt about this and like really, really leaning into all the parts that I don't want to look at and really do the work. And I want to be lit up and inspired in my business. And I want to have this space of like, I'm so enrolled and on fire about what I'm contributing to the world that I want everyone and their grandma to know about this. Then get someone in your corner. I'm so someone that wants to be in your corner. So like DM me, DM someone, DM me. And get in someone's corner and say like, hey, I really just get to have support on like cultivating this lifestyle of inspiration and creativity and being in this place of like slowing down to speed up, creating results from a different place. And this is the game. Like, this is what I love because I get to practice what I preach. And I'm always a student of my own work. And I love that. It's fun. It also keeps me humble because it's like, I never arrive. Like, we never arrive anywhere, really. It's like, yeah. And strangely enough, that feels good, which is cool. So I'm going to wrap this up. I love you all. I love that some of you hopped on here. So that was awesome. If you hop on after the fact, definitely let me know what you're drinking. Coffee, tea, matcha, lemonade, eggnog, whatever it is. And also, if you want to come see more of me from day to day, come check out my Instagram. Come be with me in that space. And definitely let me know if you need any support, want any support with this journey of life and being inspired and creative, because it's something that I'm really passionate about and that I live every day. Mwah! Definitely subscribe, like all the things. If you love this space, do that stuff. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.